Hello. So I'm here to talk about tea. I've been asked by a number of you, it's nice to see the recipes above, but how on earth do you make tea? So the recipes above are ratios. So if it says one chamomile, one peppermint, two rose, that would mean ratio. Whatever, let's say this is what you're using because you're making a small batch, it would be one teaspoon, two. Or if I'm making a large batch like this is something I would bring to work, have it sit in my drawer. My one would be, if it was a one, two, it would be quarter cup of this, quarter cup of this, two of this. Do you guys get it? So your above recipe isn't 1 tablespoon of chamomile or 1 tablespoon of um, licorice root. It's a ratio. So to help you out a little bit, this is pretend it's all the way full. This is a 4 ounce bag of rose petals. Rose petals are super, super light, very, very, very light. So 4 ounces is going to be a humongous bag. My eyes bugged out whenever I bought this bag. So I was like, that's 4 ounces. And you can tell I'm using it, right? Licorice root is really, really dense. Root. Think about a root. A lot of times roots, you have to really get them hot in order for them to release what's inside. So roots, this whole bag is 4 ounces, but it's because it's more dense. It's trial and error. It really is trial and error. Marshmallow root, same thing. It's a smaller bag. Now, this is interesting because lavender is a little bit more dense. It's going to be more dense than a really airy petal. But I mean, lavender is so small, there's hardly any air. They just compact together. So when you're first ordering, I like to order my herbs from Mountain Rose Herbs, but I mean, get them wherever you want. I used to get them from Etsy, and some of the farmers were really, really good about it. And sometimes I would get some that were kind of stale. But I like, so far I've been getting really good herbs from Mountain Rose Herbs, but I mean, get them where you want. But when you first try, if you're not sure what you want, just buy small. And then you can see if you like the quality, you can see if you like the taste and the flavor. And then if you really like it, you can see like how long is it taking me to get through a 2 or 3 ounce bag of something. So look how beautiful that is. This is just one of your recipes where there's different herbs and it smells amazing. When you use freshly dried herbs and you make a tea out of it, it smells so amazing and there's no flavors in it. So when there's no flavors in your tea, you really have to steep it. And I will make my tea in a pot like this. For me, this is a smaller pot. It's cast iron, so it keeps it really, really hot. And most tea pots will come with a strainer. So if I were going to make some tea in this pot, I would probably, let's say I just grab a spoon. I'm going to make it up. I'll go, see how heaping that is? I'll go, maybe a little bit more. I'm totally guessing. I'm totally guessing, right? So my strainer's like that full in this kind of a pot. Now, if I were making it in a larger pot, okay, I'm going to show you the difference. So this is if I'm like drinking tea and I know I'm going to be drinking it for a couple of hours or sharing it. And this is mere from like, I want more than a cup, but I don't want like 2 or 3. I just want. So this one also has a big strainer. And you don't be confused. A strainer like this, but never gets filled up. For this teapot, that's about this size, I'm still not going to do that much. I'm going to do like, okay, notice, I'm naturally stirring it because every time you make some tea, every cup is going to taste a little bit differently because you can't, it doesn't there's no chemical change. Like within baking, you have to literally make sure you're getting the tastes that you want in each cup. So I'm gonna go one, two, I'm guessing maybe four. I usually do it with a bigger spoonful, so I'm just sort of maybe a little bit more feeling it out. You'll know, right? That's not even that full. You'll know when you drink it the next time if you want to add more or less. But here's the secret. This pot keeps it really warm for a really long time too. I have a clay, like pottery, clay pottery at work um, that I use, and that keeps it really warm. Probably a porcelain, I would imagine, wouldn't really keep it that warm. Glass wouldn't keep it that warm, but these guys keep it warm. So I let it steep. I will pour my hot water in it, and I'll let it steep for about 15 minimum, 20 minutes maybe, and it stays pretty warm. But then it's like cool enough for me to drink. And then if you guys are like, what temperature do you do it at? Honestly, I throw so many different things in my tea that I don't put a thermometer on it. And I know some tea enthusiasts will. I don't. I just make it, I put it in, you can put it on the stove, like in a traditional tea kettle and like wait for the whistle. Um, I don't put boiling water over my herbs, but it does get like maybe 200 degrees. If you don't want to make a pot, you're just like, I just want to make a cup. You can buy these on Amazon. This is just like a tiny little baby one. And you can see I just now rinsed it out. And this one clips on the side and you put your herbs in it and then you just like let it dunk in your cup and then just like do this number on it. And if I'm doing a cup, I don't let it steep for 15 minutes because then it gets cold. But I do usually let my tea things sit in it until then I'm like, I need it out. See how the rules are so loose and so flexible? This I made. So this, I bought the little strainer and then I sort of attached a fun little way to anchor it so it doesn't fall into my teapot or my teacup. But there are different kinds you can get. The kids got me this for Christmas. So this one squeezes and you can just like scoop your tea. I'm going to show you what makes this kind a little bit tricky for me. But like I'll scoop it in there, but then like how do you then I got to get my fingers and make sure all of them clamp close. It's a little bit trickier for me to do this kind. Because the kind with the clip, it forces itself shut. This is another style where I would just take my teaspoon. This is about how much I would do for if I was going to make my own like cup. Now I have a huge mug, so I would fill it up all the way like that. But then this one in particular has a little silicone lid that you just sort of force on like that, and then dunk it in your water and let it sit. And then this nice little guy just holds it so it doesn't fall into your cup. So I hope this helped you a little bit to know how, when I give you the ratios, what it means. It just means if you want to make a lot, have your number one be maybe a quarter of a cup. If you want to make just a little bit, like a little baggie full, have your number one just be a tablespoon. And then you just use those ratios as your guide of how much you want to make. I hope this is helpful. All of these emails have me or somebody else on the other side of them. So if you have questions, please ask. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate it.